Good morning. My name's Kyle. I'm the Pentographer, and welcome back to my car. So today, what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about why you should keep a notebook. So, it doesn't really matter what brand. I won't get into the brands at the moment, but what you should do is you should get a notebook. Now, I've been keeping notes sort of haphazardly on and off a good chunk of my life, since I was a kid. And I found that when you're going through times of struggle, it's really helpful. Or if you're working on a problem in your head, they can really help. In the moment, you write it down, you write down your thoughts on it, you write down how you're feeling, whatever. And usually, what it will do is it'll just kind of, even if it won't necessarily solve the problem, but just the act of recording it is helpful. Just the act of putting it down on paper. There's an act that happens when you're translating your thoughts to written form. And that is very cathartic, it's very helpful, and it won't, again, as I said, it won't necessarily solve the problem. Sometimes you do come up with a solution, depending on the issue. And sometimes it's just the act of writing itself just helps it. Just helps to write it down. But then, not only that, but you can go back to it later. Like, I can go back to all my notebooks. That's the great thing, is like, you've recorded your thoughts, so you can go back to them later. I'll go back to problems that I had decades ago, and I just think it's interesting to see what you cared about, what you were struggling with, just to like look at it and be like, that's what I was worried about. Whether it's absurd or not, because it might be. It could. Maybe you were worried about some girl not liking you or something in high school, and you look back on it now and you're like, you've got a wife and a mortgage and you hate your job, and you're like, I was worried about that. Like, what? I know some of my issues are certainly like that. You look back and you're just like, what? Such silly problems. But that's life. Like, life is like that. You as you grow and overcome these things, you end up looking back on them and realizing that it was really silly. But then you can think, well, yeah, but like, I wasn't there yet, so I'm there now, and I got past it. It's just, it brings up this whole sort of recollection process that can be really fun. It can be really fun. It's really silly sometimes, but you can enjoy it because you're looking back at your old self, and it can also help you recontextualize issues, especially if they were big things, not worried about some girl liking you or something, but like, maybe you lost a family member, or maybe, like, one I'll probably look back on is, when I was working at the mine, one of our coworkers was actually killed, and I wrote that down. I have that in a journal entry. I have it dated and everything, and I will probably look back at that one and think about that a fair amount, especially when I get older, because that was a big thing. That's no small thing. So, just as an example. But that's why I think you should keep a notebook, because I think it allows you to look back on your own history in a way that you couldn't do if everything was just stored in your brain. I have memories that I never wrote down, and I hold on to some of them, but there's a lot of stuff I've forgotten too. Or I'll be thinking one day, and I'll just be meandering through my mind, and I'll stumble on something, and I'm like, oh right, I forgot about that. And having a notebook, keeping a notebook, that helps with that. It helps keep you sort of, keeps you straight on things. Helps keep you straight on your own story a little bit. So I think that's a really, really solid reason for why people should keep a notebook and keep journaling and do that sort of process. You don't have to do it every day. Like, I don't keep myself to some sort of schedule or anything. I even find it difficult to actually just carry a notebook. Like at my job, I don't have any opportunity to do that. I think I might like to actually maybe get a job where I could do that. Carry a notebook every day and be writing these things down. But I just don't have that right now. But there's actually, so I think those are the reasons why you should do it. I think there are some great notebooks to start. The traveler's journals are an excellent resource to start. Number one, they're small, so both in number of pages and in like actual dimensions. They're little, so they're tall but not wide, and they fit in these little leather notebooks that have elastics that hold the pages in. You just kind of open it to the middle section, slide it through the elastic, and boom, you're done. You got a notebook now. There's more complicated setups than that, but that's the gist of it. I found they're really, really handy because they're little. You can add stuff to them, so there are inserts you can get for those notebooks specifically, so that's handy. So if you want to kind of turn it into a little bit of a wallet as well, then that's great. You can add pen loops, so you can have a dedicated pen to it, all that sort of stuff. They're really handy. Often I just have, like, I've gone to Walmart and just gotten like some of their hardcover basic journals. Like, they're nothing crazy, they're not even that amazing of a paper. They are good for fountain pens, don't get me wrong, but the traveler's journals are good for fountain pen ink. The Walmart brand friggin' notebooks are fine for it. And then there's other ones, like there's the Lectern notebooks. Those are really good. I really like the Rhodia pads. They're kind of boring, and like, I won't say boring because they're pretty classy looking, but they're not, they don't have a nice cover, or they don't have anything like that you could add to them really. Maybe there is out there and I just don't know about it, but that's entirely possible. But they're a good one to start, and they come in a bunch of different sizes. Like, I've got little ones that you can carry, like they're literally pocketable, so that's pretty handy. So if you need a notebook that's pocketable, grab a Rhodia pad. Like, they're great for that. And so there's a bunch of different, like, sort of starter journals or things that I think work for someone who hasn't really done it before. Honestly, just go out and grab one. If you're in Canada or maybe the US, the Walmart stuff is fine. You can get the traveler's journals on Amazon. I do not remember the dimensions, but I can maybe post those in the description or something. I can post some links or something maybe. But those ones are easy to get. You can get them on Amazon. And yeah, they're like, those are a few that I think would be good starters for it, if you wanted to try that out. And then again, you can look into accessories like pen loops and stuff like that. Like, you can go crazy with it. I've only really gotten into it just recently, like really just kind of started it. So like, I have an insert for cards and stuff like that, but I haven't used it a massive amount, but I've been trying to get myself into using specific ones. So I have 2 journals right now that I've been carrying. Traveler's journal, because I'm getting used to the dimensions still, and the other one is the Walmart one. That was the one I was using before. So, and then I'll have the Rhodia pad on occasion if I just need something small. So there's a couple of examples, and a couple of reasons why I think you should start a journal, why I think you should take it. I think it helps with your identity. I think it helps catalyze that a bit, helps you keep it all straight, keeps your story straight, and it gives people something to look back on too, whether it's you or someone else. I think that's there's something there. There's definitely something there worth looking at. So anyways, I'm gonna call it there. Like, share, subscribe, all those things, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, may your pen always be inked.